Good morning. I'm going to go over this graphing worksheet. So we're looking at ozone hole, and we're going to graph the total area of the ozone layer hole. If you read this first part, it talks about what it is that the ozone hole is, how it got started, just very brief information about chemicals in the 70s and 80s that were causing this thinning of the ozone layer, and then what the world did to stop that trend, to stop the thinning of the ozone layer. And it's an environmental success story, really. We've got images here each year from 1979 to 2018 in the images that shows this thinned out layer. And fortunately, what we see is that the size has stopped growing, and in some cases, it's even starting to shrink back down. So, looking at the next page, this is the data, and we have the year, right? It starts at 1980, goes all the way down to this next column for year 2001, and then all the way at the bottom we have 2021. Okay, so we have a pretty big graph. Year 1980, all the way down to 2021. And then right next to it is the ozone hole area. So this is the data that was collected by scientists. Two columns that match up, right? In 1980, it was 1.4. In 1981, it was 0.6. And then we have another set of columns over here matching up the area and the year. So we're going to take this information and we're going to graph it on this page. So I'm going to turn our graph like this and get started. Now I'm setting up the graph, you'll finish it. So down at the bottom, this is our independent variable. This is what the scientists knew, and they chose year to look at the area by year. So we're just putting year down here. And then for each line, we want to start writing out the years. So 1980 is the first line. 1981, 1982, 1983, 1984, 1985, and I want you to continue all the way down this part here until you get to 2021. You will find that in 1985 there was no data. That's okay, still put the year in, and you just won't put a data point for that one. You'll just connect the line from 1984 straight to 1986, not a problem. So on the y-axis, this is our data that's collected, which is ozone hole area. So I'm gonna write that in first. Ozone hole area. And if it has units, we want to include units, which this does. This is million of kilometers squared. That's what the number is going to be referring to. And it goes from very small numbers, like 0.6, not even a whole, not even above 1, up to our highest, looks like it was maybe 25.9. So the way we can fit all this data is if we start at 0, and then we go by 2s. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way up. So remember, you're going to finish the numbers on both axes, all the way to the ends. And then we just start graphing. So in 1980, it was 1.4. So the line for 1980 is this first one. And 1.4 is about, I don't know, it's right about there. 1981 was 0.6. So 1981.6 is right about there. 1982, 4.8. 1982, 4.8 is about right there. 1983, 7.9. And then you just keep going, plotting out all these data points, and then eventually you're going to connect the dots on the line graph. Okay, that should do it for you. If you have any questions, let me know.